Alright, hello and welcome everyone to a new Fleet Ops audio commentary. This is Triptych bringing you the rematch, although I know it's only been a couple seconds for you people. It's been an hour or two for us, as my internet went down and they did some other stuff, like eating lunch. So once again we have Epic Vengeance. Once again we have Crisis and Dar. Dar is in the top left of Duel 2. He is still Feds. I'm suspecting Mason. He's still an orangey color. He was red last time. Down here we have Crisis, still blue. He's Borg this time around. We did have an interesting conversation about Dominion and how S2 spam works better when they put the yard right in the middle. But he decided not to try that because he wanted Epic Vengeance. So he's got his miners coming up. This time Dar is coming straight in for the scouting, but that could be a problem. You can make it. You can make it. Yeah, so that's going to go repair. I've often wondered what it must be like to be hit by a torpedo that is larger than your ship. Okay, Dar's got his yard and his engineering going again. Crisis is just sort of chilling back here. Which is one of the interesting things about this map is if you're, people don't realize how huge the space is. If you don't have a cloaking scout, you can still just sit it back here somewhere. And scouts are so fast, it'll probably get out. So... oh, I see. So last game I was criticizing Dar for getting his engineering, or for getting his Antares before the engineering. But now I say what it is, because the Starfleet science requires the Antares yard. So really he is just going full straight up warp and rush. Straight as fast as he can. And it's kind of funny because, last game he didn't scout, and it's important to scout Dominion. This game he did scout, but there isn't really much to scout about Borg because they're going to have their 4 miners. Their conduction matrix probably. Nodes level 1. Crisis is getting caught up attacking with his scout. Oh, but he could get it. He could board. Board it, board it. See if Dar is quick enough on the capture. Nope, nope. Oh, but it's engines and life support are out. There it sits. How long do we have? 7%. You see the moment these shields go back up. Oh, okay, he is boarding. Let the board fight commence. It belongs to the Feds. Wait, did he try to board the miner? No, there it is. It's only got 4 crew. Hit it again. It's chasing, it's chasing. No! Turn around, Crisis, get it. This'll be awesome. Shields are down. Board, board, board. Oh, he's trying to use the blue nebula. There it goes. And it's damaged again. That's right. When a ship goes derelict, however much engine damage it has immediately translates into destroyed engines, destroyed subsystems that it then has to regenerate. So you might have only had, 2% damage and functional, but it will become damaged with that much. It'll be destroyed with that much, and it's going to drift back into starbase range. I really hope these guys aren't forgetting to do their regular stuff. Here's the scout cube and the probe. And is it in range? It's still drifting. Oh, it's gonna die. That's okay. It was amusing. And Dar's scout has died valiantly. He isn't doing any Monsoon or Intrepid just yet, which, he might have just been distracted by the scout. Or maybe because of the slightly slower mining start I was talking about. He just doesn't want to go spending that yet. Crisis has enacted his revenge. His revengeance. Yes, I was about to say that. And the revengeance shall continue with his probe skewb start. Just gotta appreciate this conduction matrix and home thing. 24,000 crew in this sucker. I mean, these regular numbers are just balanced for you know, a race that is ridiculously high crew. 11,000. You know, that isn't really, it doesn't really mean anything because no one's ever going to assimilate that much. And these ones are just... There's only one thing in existence that can assimilate a Borg starbase, and that is the nanite thing on the assimilator, the assimilate assimilator, because it does a percentage reduction, and it kills several thousand crew per usage on something like this. But still, even then, you know, it's only a gag thing. You see like 10 assimilators assimilate one of these things at the very end of a game just because they want to show off. Meanwhile, the stuff that actually matters, we have an intercept scout cube and a probe attacking. This platform is not going to go up because Dar is very much defenseless. This cube start is a lot faster than the S2s. That was another thing Elam was saying, was as Dominion he needed to get bugs because against a Fed player who's using such an incredibly tech up strategy kind of thing. No, no, kill it, kill it. Kill it! Anyway, against a Fed player who uses such a long delay strategy, you really do need to strike them right away. Right at the beginning of the game. There he goes, he's killing it. And now what's he doing? Oh! Oh, wow! He's gonna snipe the Starfleet command, and this game will be over. He takes the damaged cube and puts it on the far side. Oh, I did not see that coming. Apparently Dar didn't either. So the revengeance is complete. In just a couple of seconds, Dar has to cancel. I don't think he's canceling. Crisis is just being a jerk, boarding there. And the Starfleet command is cancelled. Wow. He has the resources to build another. But I don't think he can. They'll just come back and do it again. Although, well, they did take quite a lot of damage. So yeah, he can just start building the other Starfleet command right away. But that's still going to be such a big delay. How will Crisis capitalize on this? Well, he moved up. He's tempted to expand and get more mining up apparently, but if it was me, I'd think just more scubes. Like you got your advantage, your time advantage that you delayed the Starfleet command by like 2 minutes. How long does that take? Oh, that's still debuilding. Like 3 or 4 minutes apparently. So you've had a huge delay in his warp-ins. What you need to do now is just capitalize that and get your fleet composition up. And that's what he's doing. He's going to raid again. There's 320 tritanium. Oh, 351. What? What was that? Did you guys just see that? He canceled a ship, sorry. Or maybe he canceled a research. He must have been researching Proxy Torp and canceled it. It's like, how did it go up? So yeah, he needs 300 tritanium for a Starfleet command. So that's like 150 extra. So he can't even afford to build freighters right now. Because if he does, he'll delay the Starfleet command. Although these two are full of tritanium, he needs to take them over here and drop off the tritanium there. Because he's not going to be able to mine this. You know, this is what you need to do to deal in this situation. He needs to get a Starfleet command. He needs to unload his miners over here. Nothing matters but the Starfleet command. Meanwhile, Crisis is definitely capitalizing. He is scube spamming like there's no tomorrow. And the revengeance will be complete. There's Starfleet command. In 2 minutes and 20 seconds. 2 1/3 minutes. And a silly miner. Tricks are for kids. Although they did both drop off their tritanium. And he's going sabers. He's like, he has to get something, anything. Oh wow, yeah, that miner goes down. This one's gonna get back. This one may die. These scubes just do ridiculous damage to miners. There's nothing quite like a scube rush. And I think Dar's gonna GG here. There's no way. You just can't do a Starfleet command, a warp-in rush against Borg, who are determined and know it's coming. In the same way that Romulans can't really early expand versus Borg, it's just, one of those things you can't do. Gives too much of an opening. So, still is decent dilithium, but he's got one miner. And one saber. And his outpost is upgraded. Which he could totally upgrade it again just to be a jerk if he wanted. That would definitely make this game last a lot longer, because these scubes do nothing to starbases. Like this sucker, 7 damage. It's plus 70% against small, minus 70% against battleships, minus 90% against stations. So they do nothing. They do nothing to stations. If we actually sit here and let this play out, this starbase will not die until Crisis feels like getting a sphere or two. And he knows that it's in his best interest to just lock down the map with scubes. Although honestly, at this point, I think he's already won that battle. He's already got all the scubes he needs. So, he should really... Now is the time, a couple minutes ago it wasn't a good time to go heavy macro. Now is the time to do it. He needs to just get nodes level 2, followed by nodes level 3, pump out about 8 miners, and cover the map. Then he can build 2 spheres per minute, and everything will be happy. Oh, and a warp-in! The warp-ins have arrived. He is boarding a saber. That's how mean he feels like being after that last game. And it's a very nice pull. Well, okay. The Ambassador is very nice. The Centaur is nice, but it does its little extra damage to shields. Wow, 40% extra damage to shields. And actually, I admire this about the devs. When designing a new passive, you're like, oh, let's do one that does extra damage to shields. And they say, well, what would be a good drawback for that? How about it takes extra damage from pulse weapons? It's perfect because the Borg are the ones who don't have shields, but they also don't have pulse weapons. So, at least the one that has an advantage that does nothing against the Borg, but it also has a disadvantage that does nothing against the Borg. Although I think such an incredibly powerful passive as that probably affects its, DPS to offensive value, which means it does a lot less damage than it would have if it didn't have that passive. He's trying to throw up a platform. That probably is the best answer at this point. Just because he needs some ridiculous cheap defense and he knows this is where the guy's going to attack. But it's not going to work. The scubes can just kill that constructor. They can ignore everything else. They just, they don't regenerate, but they have chunks of hit points. They're just going to take out... No, they haven't killed anything. But they, they chase that back. And you can see how these warp-ins have put the Feds in a much stronger position. But they're not going to mine. They will never get Tritanium again in this game. If Crisis has to suicide his ships, I hope he understands that. Crisis could suicide his ships one at a time just to kill Tritanium miners, and he would win this game. Because... Oh, wow. How much Tritanium does it take to make a Fed miner? Probably more than 73. So he is decommissioning his Excelsior, I expect. Wait, can you decommission warp-ins for money? I don't know if you can. Maybe he needs to decommission a saber. Yeah, that's something I want to find out. What happens if you decommission a warp-in? Does it just go away? But yeah, he needs to decommission a saber just to get one miner to mine Tri, which he isn't going to be able to get because he can suicide. So basically it's over. But this would be very amusing to see what Crisis does. He's getting his transmission matrix. He's just going to wait for CC for something bigger, and until then he's got plenty of money. I'm surprised he has so much money considering he's got these miners. Only one extra dilithium. I don't think he's gotten a single kill yet. And like I say, these intercept cubes do like nothing to this building. Although the adapter fills a very nice niche there. What is this? It's a adaptation regeneration. So what does that mean? I guess, yeah, it's pretty balanced actually between offense and defense. Isn't going to do much in this case because these ships are also different. The adaptation scanner works best against enemies that are all of one type. There's like short range, long range, long range. What is this, medium range? Yeah, medium range. So like the Excelsiors and the Sabres. However, it does do its little torpedo damage, which will be nice against the, torpedoes are good against everything that these other guys aren't good against. Oh, is he getting it? Is he getting it? Oh no, the Sabre gets out. And there's going to be another warp in soon. So Dar is really being tenacious here. Feds are a tough nut to crack. Looks like he isn't making any plans though. Some bastards going down. Oh, pop the special, pop the special. Pop the special, it gives you extra defense. Okay, it died. And then, yeah, the Sabres. Crisis is understanding. Although oh, he did? Okay, yeah, he went ahead and upgraded the starbase. So these cubes, they're just going to be raiding and suiciding. What is he getting down here? Slicer? Yeah, I guess that's okay. It's good against Hull. He's got his graveyard of regenerating ships. There aren't very many of them down here. And this actually has a very nice regeneration rate, it looks like. I don't know what system value you get from the adaptation scanner. But the regeneration module does give it a nice 29 system plus the 10% regen. Which that 10% doesn't mean much. But the 29 system value is nice. So yeah, he's sending out his constructor, and there's the Borg scout. Run away! Run away! He sees you. What is he gonna... He can't... No, he can't build anything. He can't even build a platform. I think he's just running away to make it annoying so that Crisis has to see it later. I hope Crisis saw that, because if he didn't, then it's just going to be hiding in the corner of the map. No, he saw it. That's ironic. Let's hope they're going to come in and kill this dude. Actually, okay, knowing Crisis, this is his revengeance match. He's going to steal it. Which is something the Borg can do in the beginning. We haven't seen it in a while, ever since it was made so that you can't board a cloaked ship that you can't see. Because that used to be a really devastating thing to board ships right when they cloak. Or decloak. Decloaking is actually still effective, but the sheer fact that their starting unit comes with 500 crew means that the Borg can totally board stuff if it's caught by itself. You just shoot down the shields, everybody transports over, and you're good. You got to worry about destroying it if you have too much firepower. Because there does seem to be a bit of a bug. Boarding? Boarding? Oh, they're killing it. There does seem to be a bug where when you're boarding it, your units won't attack it. But the moment they finish boarding it and it becomes derelict, it becomes a valid target for like a split second, and all of your ships will fire one volley. So you can only board a ship who has more hull hit points than your fleet will deal in one volley. Because, like I say, if they deal that one volley... What the... Oh, okay, he has gotten rid of his engineering and science to get some sabers out. But yeah, so, you could board a ship all the way down to 0 crew, and then your ships fire one volley at it and annihilate it. You're like, well, that was annoying. Although you can also use the yellow or green firing autonomy to avoid that. Oh, he's decommissioning his starbase. I really wanted to see that thing shoot, especially since Crisis has gone ahead and made a DPS sphere. I'm pretty sure this is the highest DPS you can get in a sphere, because it has torpedo and 3 prime, I think. Well, it would have to be, because if it's only torpedo and prime, you can only have 1 torpedo. So this is a beautiful 103 offense, 53 defense, no regeneration. Although 62 system value is pretty good. And it drains energy from what it hits, which doesn't mean too much in this case. I really wanted to see that starbase die in honorable combat. Anyway, I'm sure he's researched all of his things. He's getting bored. It's so wrong. He got a high energy slicer. He probably got partial adaptation for the extra damage boost. Maybe the devastating attack, but I'm not sure. The sphere, as you can see, it actually takes a lot of damage, even though its damage is through the roof. I actually proposed in a forum post that they make a new option for spheres that gives them hit points instead of regeneration. And then I was saying you should make it so that the defensive ones are more expensive than the offensive ones. So if you make a full offense sphere like this, it should be cheaper than one that can actually defend itself or regenerate. Because look at that. I mean, you couldn't do that in an actual fight. It's beautiful damage, but it would just die right away. And I'm expecting to see him board the Starfleet Command or the Yard. Oh, Starfleet Command has a lot of crew. Go! Descent! Call in a descent or a Teutoburg. Something's called. Couple seconds and we'll see what it is. It's a descent! Where is it going? Oh. He was probably hoping to make that just annoying, but he didn't realize that it flew right past these guys. Now there's something interesting. Oh, never mind. I was going to say his resources dropped to 0, but that's just because the building I had selected died. Here we see the decommissioning Starfleet Command in the face of a 76 damage beam and a 33 damage torpedo. Because like I said, none of the other guys are doing any damage. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now until they chase down this descent. And then they are going to come and do some commentary afterward, although it'll probably just be gloating. Hopefully that'll be amusing though. So yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Wow, okay, I just gotta point that out. Even though it was ridiculously weak, did you see how fast that sphere regenerated? That thing was at 1/3 health. Huh, so maybe that isn't underpowered anyway. It certainly can't stand up in a head-to-head fight. But all you really got to do is run away with it. And it'll be fine.
User joined your channel.
Hey.
User joined your channel.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
The revengeance is complete.
Right.
We are the Borg. You're dead.
So that is interesting. The Borg get off to a lot faster start than the Dominion as far as rating goes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That and, you know, my skill set with Borg compared to Dominion is almost like in another league. I mean, my Dominion skill set is so low, it's pathetic. That was fun though. We were laughing as I was chasing around his last ship.
It was, well, I didn't have much to say about the match, honestly. It was just a solid rush versus the Warpin rush is really vulnerable to that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the only way you do it. I spent a lot of time, you know, warp and rush its powers in like the second or the third warp in when they really begin to stack up. So if you hit them and you kill miners and you stop that turret at the Tritanium mine, it's pretty much over for the Fed player. I mean, unless he had resources left, he can expand it to the left there with that constructor he got out, but he didn't have any resources.
It's the same kind of setup as, you know, any large yard rush or tech up strategy.
Right. Well, fun game. That was a lot of fun.
I wonder what would have happened if you'd done it as Dominion and just gotten lots of bugs, like Elam said. Like if you could have pulled off the same kind of snipe or not.
Probably not. Like I said, my micro is based around the Borg units. I mean, they're strong. You can get them out. They're fast.
Mm-hmm.
My micro with units are weak and that are slow, or just like I said, my Dominion miners just piss me off because they won't move.
Well, that's the thing is, I always thought that, you know, I play Romulans and it's so incredibly important for them to get out. But it's a different kind of important for the Dominion. Like, for the Romulans, they absolutely have to get out, but it's kind of easy. But then when I tried out Dominion for a bit, it's like, it isn't as important for them, but it's really hard. Like, it's the same skill set of getting your guys out when they're about to die.
Yeah, but the thing about Dominion miners is losing a few of them is just murder. I mean, you saw what happened to my Tritanium last game. I mean, I lost my main base Tritanium and it just plummeted.
I think they're more expensive than the other races.
The Dominion miners?
Yeah. Than the other races miners, because they're also constructors.
Right. And the other point about it too is that they're medium sized, so they take reduced damage from pulse and they get an extra hit chance from torpedoes.
Oh, I didn't
So
know
yeah,
that.
so like the Borg early game adapted torpedoes really have trouble against the Dominion miners because they take like 20% less damage from them.
More than that. Adapted torpedoes do 70% extra to small.
Yeah, but they're not small, they're medium, so they
That's
take
what I'm
20% less. Oh yeah. So,
No, they
I
take
don't know,
like,
it's less.
they take
it's
almost
like
half as
30%,
much as the other small ships.
Right.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah, so that's why it's a lot harder to get kills in the beginning. Also why it's smarter to go regions cubes against Dominion instead of intercepts, because intercepts, you're really losing that firepower against, you know, like the B8 or the B5, whatever they decide to go in the beginning. I mean, if they go B8s on you, that extra firepower is virtually lost completely.
Yeah, so regen might be better against a Dominion.
Oh yeah,
player.
it's definitely better. And plus, you can get a peripheral and use your cubes as tanks, and that really helps.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording now. Although
All
I
right,
discovered a
see you
very
later.
nice thing to put at the end. You'll see when I upload it.